of facilities and always very challenging. So for them to come across it was something that was pretty startling for them. But we're glad they called because now we can obviously make sure that we conduct our investigation in conjunction with the Harris County Institute of Forensic Sciences to determine who this individual is and what may have happened. The initial just cursory look, there wasn't any real apparent signs of any trauma, no apparent gunshot wounds. Um, we're speculating a bit here, but it could be that the individual was a homeless individual. Sometimes it's not uncommon for them to be looking for trash or food or other things within trash cans or dumpsters, and then something could have happened, and you know, just eventually just the was picked up and moved here. This is a transfer facility, so basically what happens here is different dump trucks come, bring debris here. It's dropped here at the station. From here, then 18 wheelers or more larger trucks will come and pick up that debris and then take it to actual landfills or other facilities. But that's what we have right now.
How long would it have been?
Uh,
I'm sorry. How long would that body have been in there? Do we know kind of sense
the initial information that we're receiving, again, all this is still preliminary until medical examination is conducted. We believe it could have been as early as this morning, and perhaps that's why they located it, because it would still, maybe on top of the pile instead of deeper, and the body still seemed to be fairly intact. So we're going with the assumption that the belief that it could have been as early as this morning.
Sheriff, what
Yeah.
kind of clothing or anything? Can you tell us the
Uh,
condition?
believe shorts and a t-shirt is what I was told, but we'll get a better description. But I was told shorts is what the individual was wearing.
Sheriff, how difficult is it going to be to get the answers that we need?
Probably not very difficult because we'll be able to hopefully identify who the individual is. I believe he did have some type of identification on his person. Didn't have much other than that. And so hopefully we could confirm that it is indeed, the individual that matches that identification, and then obviously through prints and other things that the Institute of Forensic Sciences does. We want to give him time to confirm that and not just assume that because he has it in his pocket that it belonged to him. So we'll be able to then determine that, and then hopefully backtrack a little bit, see if there's any missing persons reports or anything that, foul play involved or anything like that. And obviously it's a medical examination as well. It may have been natural causes, but we don't know at this point.
It may have been natural causes, but obviously, like you said, it's every day you see something like this. Is there anything to point to the fact that he could have been killed and dumped, body hidden?
Absolutely. All those things are on the table. We simply do not know. So at this point, it is speculation. We always leave those possibilities that there could have been some type of foul play or trauma that's not immediately visible to the naked eye. So that'll be explored. And so it could be a range of things. We don't know if there was foul play involved or something happened to him elsewhere and he was placed in a dumpster. All those are possibilities, and they have happened in the past.
Sheriff, will you guys be going through the rest of the debris to see who that possibly belonged to him?
Not at this point. There's a lot of debris in there, just tons of it. It's very difficult. It was, again, very fortunate that they came across and were alert enough to spot it, because it's a busy facility. There's been trucks coming in and out, and there's just a lot of just piles, mounds of debris. So everything's intermixed, because that's part of what they were doing, is mixing different batches and moving bigger mounds, to just sort it out a little bit. So it's very difficult to find anything else. They did do a search around it, but nothing immediately that appeared to be related to the body.
Is there anything about the body that makes you believe that it's been here for a while or deceased for a time? Can you tell us anything
Just
about that?
initial observations, again, from the investigator. Again, I mean, there'll be a more thorough medical examination. It appears it could have been as early as this morning, so there doesn't seem to have, where the body seems fairly intact, and so we're thinking that it was within this morning or perhaps last night. We'll have to kind of, again, part of the investigation will kind of look at the manifest here in terms of what trucks came, maybe what general areas where they pick up. There's a lot that could be done, but a lot of it will also be kind of, you know, who is this person? Did someone report a missing? You know, what's going on?
Is there any way to know what part of the city or what trash area, you know, that I know you said manifest, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of trash in there.
It's very complicated. I've worked on cases like this before, and in a landfill, it's a little bit different. Here, being a transfer station, they'll have to see kind of who comes specifically to deliver here. If it's a municipality, or you know what corridors come to this area. Typically, we'll have to see again what companies or entities come to drop off, and what maybe dumpsters they service. Is it apartment complexes or what areas and then try to from there kind of sort it out to then determine what truck and time frame and narrow it down. But again, a lot of it will also depend on who this individual was. How did he end up here? Again, was he homeless? Was there foul play? What was going on with him? Because that might give us a lot of clues as well.
He had an ID on him. Is he from the Houston area? Did it disappear?
I wasn't told specifically if he was from the Houston area or not. I don't know what address it came back to.
So, Sheriff, at this point, this man, his body was in a dump truck, dumped here at this transfer facility, is what you're saying. Did you say it could be as early as this morning?
That's what they think, that it could have been, one of the trucks that or maybe, I don't know if it was brought here last night or just discovered this morning when they started working. But the initial, being that the body's intact, and just based on the cursory view of the body, it appears that it's fairly intact. So it appears it could have been as early as this morning, or it's a recent occurrence here. And so it was within the rubbish, and as they were moving rubbish is when they spotted the body and immediately stopped and called authorities, which was the correct thing to do. So again, I'm in the middle of all that debris and trash bags and things like that. It's just pretty incredible that they found a body.
He wasn't wrapped up or tried to be concealed or anything
It wasn't.
like that.
He wasn't concealed or anything like that.
Is there anything that gives you a time of death? Is there any sort of decay with the body or anything like that?
No, body appears to be intact. So at this point, it appears to have been a recent occurrence. But again, there's so many factors. That's why there'll be a medical autopsy that'll occur. That'll give us, at this point, it would just be speculation. It just appears to have been fairly recent. No real decay or anything to the body that would tell us it's been here for a long time. And there's a lot of, being that it's a transfer facility, there's a lot of turnover within the debris. I mean, because things are moving out. It's not a permanent site where they actually take it to the landfill. This isn't the landfill per se. It's more of a transfer facility that's one step before they get to the landfill.
If we were to put out a description, what would that be?
Just appears to be a white male, early 60s most likely. Believe he has shorts and possibly a t-shirt, but that's about all we have right now.
Did it happen in a warehouse?
Yeah, in the warehouse back there, you could almost see the debris from here. It's stacked up pretty high, and they have machinery that's kind of excavating and moving and stacking on trucks. There should be trucks that come and then also that leave.
Thank you.
Sure, thanks a lot.
All right,
Yeah, I
thank you.
think,
Yeah,
I think we were
real.
asking about like the time frame because initially we had those reports that this may have been dead for a few days, but it seems like